Hello to our freaky family. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Kandi.
And this is Sips of Crime. Welcome back, everybody, to Sips of Crime, your favorite tea crime podcast. How are you doing, Kandi?
I'm good.
Good.
You know, starting my new position, so that's been a lot of learning.
Yes, so much fun. We love switching jobs. Not.
I didn't really want to, but I did. I did, but I didn't. Bittersweet.
Whenever somebody offers you a chance an offer you can't refuse. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Right. And I have so much work ahead of me because I can't retire anytime soon.
So, not on the brink of retirement.
No, not at all.
Podcasting does not offer the sustainability of what we would need to survive.
No, but if y'all want to make it that far, we are fine with that too.
Totally. Absolutely.
How have you been?
I've been great, actually. I started therapy today.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. I really enjoyed the therapist. She was fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to seeing kind of how that goes. And just gearing up for Christmas, man. It's here.
Already.
In full swing. I don't think... Are we ever ready?
No, but I really feel like this year just started.
Yeah, I do feel like this year really went by very, very quickly. What are some of the big things that Santa is bringing this year?
Santa is bringing a bicycle.
Ooh, that'll be so much fun.
Yeah, because he wants a big boy bike.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is his gift. We were at Sam's Club 2 weekends ago, last weekend maybe. They had this Power Wheels forklift.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know my child screamed and cried out the store?
Because you couldn't take it home.
Yes! I'm like, maybe Santa will bring it, da-da-da-da. And he don't need it.
Right.
Like, you see all the toys he has. Like, He really doesn't need that many. But, so, Santa is going to bring the bicycle,
mm-hmm.
but he's really not getting too many gifts this year.
Yeah.
Now I say that and then watch grandparents do so much more.
I was just getting ready to say, yeah, we don't encourage a ton of gifts either. I mean, I feel like, well, first and foremost, that's not really what we want to express that Christmas is about.
Right.
But obviously, I mean, my daughter's, she'll be 8 in February. And so, she's in full swing of believing in Santa, and we probably only have a couple more years of that. And so we want to, we want to milk that as long as we can. And so we do try to kind of limit some of the things, though, because it's something I struggle with every year. It's like, okay, well, she really this year, she's really excited about getting, this Barbie dream camper thing. Apparently It's kind of a big ticket item. So we're going to get it for her. And that's probably going to be what Santa brings. But every year, at least for us, we try to just do kind of a handful of things because we know how far out her grandparents are going to go.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the things that I do just kind of want to say on here is just kind of a PSA is, we always try to keep Santa gifts kind of smaller.
Yes.
For a couple of different reasons. A, I'm selfish and I don't want to give the big guy all of the credit for,
Agreed.
Mommy and Daddy want some credit here too. Okay. Yeah. But second of all, we just have to remember that not every family is in the same financial situation that you might be. And, especially at my child's age, they're going to talk to other friends about what, quote, Santa brought, unquote. And, it could be really heartbreaking to know that, Santa brought him a PS4 or PS5. Right. I don't even know if that's the big thing these days.
I'm not sure.
But, and he really wanted one, but why didn't
bring him one?
Santa didn't bring him one? Was he not good enough? Was he, a bad kid that year? And so, we just always try to keep Santa gifts to about 2 per year.
Yeah.
She gets about 2. One of them's normally very small, and normally it's stocking stuffers, to be honest.
Yep.
Something that we can fit in the stocking. We leave them open. We don't wrap those, and they show up, on Christmas Eve or the day of Christmas. But they're just normally one thing, something not super overly expensive. And then that way we can take the credit for all of the other stuff that we do spend money on.
His bicycle is like one of the little bitty toddler bicycles.
I think a bike is actually a perfect thing. Like that's an absolute Santa gift. And that's all he's getting is the
bicycle and the stocking stuffers.
You know, and the thing is, like, kids don't quite understand the monetary value either. So it's like they don't realize that a bike could cost $400. You know?
Absolutely not.
No, I know. I'm just saying, you know, like they see a bike as a bike.
Right.
You know, they don't see a bike as, you know, this being a better bike than, you know, Tommy down the road got.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just something to keep in mind and take into consideration when you guys are out Christmas shopping.
Yes.
While you're Christmas shopping, definitely make sure that you stop over at sipsofcrime.com. We did just introduce some Christmas pajamas. They do come in a unisex, a child's, women's, and a man. And they are super, super cute. So you guys can get some for the entire family for Christmas morning. They are our So Merry, It's Scary Christmas pajamas, and they're super cute and super comfortable. Highly, highly recommend if you haven't checked those out already. So, anything else that we need to talk about?
I don't think so.
Fantastic. Well, I think that leads us into opening up some wine.
Whoop, whoop. Oh, how was your trip, by the way?
Oh, trip was fantastic. Yeah, I actually took a little sabbatical and took off for the beach for a couple of days with my dog, just me and him, and it was wonderful and relaxing, and now I'm home. Back to the grind. Back to work.
Just went by so fast, didn't it?
It went by so fast.
It looked so peaceful and homey. It was really pretty.
The cottage that I booked, it was on Verbo. Oh my gosh. Absolutely wonderful.
I'm going to have to check it out for sure.
Yes, highly recommend. Ladies, you are allowed to go off on your own. If you were wondering, you don't need permission to do that. Just, you know, with the proper planning and the proper preparations, just do it. Just do it.
So, for Christmas,
yay!
Of course, we got a Rudolph's Red Blend.
Christmas wine.
And it says by Eight Tiny Reindeer Winery.
Oh, how adorable. That's the name of the winery? That's so cute.
Yeah. So, it says, the fall months are extremely frantic at the North Pole. Not only is Santa getting ready for Christmas, but it's also the time he harvests and makes his wine for next Christmas. This year, he is especially excited because Rudolph joined in to collaborate on this red blend. All summer long, the 8 tiny reindeer watched and waited for the grapes to grow to their optimum maturity. Santa knows that when his reindeer are smiling, it's time to pick the grapes. It seems that happy reindeer make really, really good wine.
Okay, this is really super cute. All of their wines are named after the reindeer.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to have to order each one.
Yeah, so there's Prancer and Vixen Moscato, the Rudolph Red Blend that we have, Comet and Cupid Cabernet. That's really adorable.
We're going to have to order all of them.
Dasher and Dancer, Pinot Noir.
I mean, I don't think I'll like some of those.
No, you won't, but I will.
And I did order a new box of wine, delivered to the house, of course. And realized, as I brought them over to Michelle's today, that I only got one white wine.
So, Kandi's in for it for the next few episodes.
Out of, what'd I get? Like 7, 8? 6?
If you count the Moscow Mules.
Oh, yeah, I did get those.
Yes. Cheers. Take another sip before you speak.
I know. It's pretty good.
It is not super, super dry.
No, but it's not super, super sweet either.
I would not classify this as a semi-sweet by any means. It is not a semi-sweet red blend. And that's the funny thing about red blends is like they really can go like either way.
Right.
Like you can have a really sweet red blend that isn't labeled as a sweet red blend. And then you can also have a very dry red blend that is not labeled as a drier red blend. So that is something that we run the risk of every time we try a red blend.
Yeah.
When it comes to you, at least.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it really, they are so far on the spectrum. They can be anything. But this one.
And I got my sinus mess going on, so I'm sure that alters my taste buds.
That's a possibility. But no, this one's actually really good. I don't know if it's just because it's labeled a Christmas wine or because I'm just in the spirit, but I'm getting a little hint of cranberry.
Couldn't tell you. I mean, I can taste the wine. I can smell a hint of cranberry.
I'm getting
my one nostril.
It's a little tart. It's not overly dry, but it's a little tart.
So what do you have for me today?
I have got a very interesting story to tell you today. It's actually not a true crime case.
What?
But something that I think you're going to find very interesting as well. I wanted to do something a little different for our last episode of the year.
Isn't that crazy?
I cannot believe it's been an entire year. We will be celebrating our anniversary next episode, so you guys definitely aren't going to want to miss that one. But for the last episode of the year, I wanted to do something a little different and give you a little something crazy to think about.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you the story of the Third Wave and Ron Jones.
Okay.
Our story starts with Ron Jones, who was a high school teacher at Cutterley High School in Palo Alto, California in 1967. He was a popular world history teacher for a senior level contemporary world history class. He graduated from Stanford University with a master's degree in education and international relations. He was young, and this makes him very popular with his students. The kids felt like they could really relate to him, and they really liked him and wanted to do well in his class. Now, during this time, in 1967, that was like the hippie movement.
Yeah.
It was on the rise. And the oppositions to the Vietnam War were coming to the forefront. We're just months away from the Summer of Love. And these students all attend a very highly rated high school in a wealthy area of California. They're expected to follow strict rules regarding their behavior and appearance, while the outside world is really becoming more anti-establishment during that time frame. So during his lesson about the Second World War, he was finding it very difficult to explain how the German population started to accept the Nazi regime and the appeal of fascism. His students didn't understand how the German people could claim ignorance to the horrors of the Holocaust, disbelieving that people of Germany could even become willing participants in this. They kept asking how that could even happen and why so many people would just go along with it. So Ron came up with a new lesson plan to help his students understand firsthand how something like this was possible, and the results are quite shocking.
Oh,
so
God.
Grab a glass.
Grab a friend.
And let's dive in. In April of 1967, his students entered his classroom on Monday morning with a new tension in the air. Ron had rearranged the seating arrangement of the students in his classroom and explained that there would be some new classroom rules. His students would be expected to sit at attention in their seats prior to the second bell with their feet flat on the floor and backs straight, while he walked around the classroom telling each student how to fix their posture until he had everyone in the room sitting correctly. They must stand when asking or answering a question, and they must do this properly as well. He takes the entire class through drills of going from a perfect seated position into a standing position at attention in less than 20 seconds. He makes the whole class do this several times until everyone is able to do it. They would have to ask or answer any question in less than 3 words and were required to preface each remark with Mr. Jones. On the chalkboard was the message, quote, "Strength through discipline," unquote. He continued his lesson that day, explaining the importance of discipline in community, and would make his students chant this phrase in unison. The students that adhere to these new rules are rewarded and praised in front of the entire class. He was blown away by the response he got from his students, as they worked very hard to adhere to his new rules and their anticipation to please one of their favorite students. Everyone except a straight A student by the name of Sherry Tousley. She immediately was taken back by these new rules and voices her dislikes for whatever is happening and doesn't want to do it. She says she doesn't understand why they have to do any of this. Mr. Jones instantly kicks her out of class and banishes her to the school library.
Oh.
That's day 1.
Okay.
On the second day, when the students arrive, Mr. Jones walks into his classroom and sees that all of his students are seated at their desks at perfect attention, just as he instructed them to do the previous day. All of them. He adds to the chalkboard, quote, "Strength through community." As the students followed all the rules enforced during yesterday's lessons, he now spoke to them about the importance of community, making students chant in unison the 2 phrases, "Strength through discipline, strength through community. He then explains that they are all now part of a very important nationwide movement called the Third Wave. He explains to them that the name stems from the supposed fact that the third in a series of waves in the ocean is always the strongest. He then shares with them a secret salute of the movement, which consists of a cupped hand across the chest towards the opposing shoulder. He does this one time to show them how it's done. The entire class, in complete silence, does it back to him. This is day 2. He ordered his students to salute each other in class and outside of the class, and then proceeds to assign each of them individual tasks, such as designing a third wave banner, stopping non-members from entering the classroom, and recruiting their friends to join the movement. Now, the students are absolutely on board. They are interested and they're engaged. Uh-huh. They are hanging on every word that Mr. Jones says. Uh-huh. Suddenly, like the normal structure of high school that they've all known in this very well-regarded high school, very well, regarded area of California, none of that applies in this classroom anymore. Okay? There is this strange sense of equality between the students now that they're all part of this movement. They are being rewarded for being good followers and good students by their favorite teacher. And the normal, quote, good students who are A students and highly regarded are no longer being praised for their academic achievements. And some are even being banished from the library, like with Sherry, who now spends her history class in the library. She actually decided to start a resistance called the Breakers during this time frame. When she starts to see how big this has gotten in just a couple of days. Students who are normally quiet are now speaking out in class, and there is a sense of unity that didn't exist there before. The hierarchy of this high school has shifted in a matter of 2 days. By the third day, this whole thing has taken on a life of its own. Students from other classes have now joined in, and when he arrives to school, he adds strength through action to the chalkboard. He explains that strength and discipline and community means nothing without action. He goes on to explain that it's your own responsibility to take action, and that you are not to compete with your fellow members, but to show loyalty to them and focus on your own strong work ethic. He issued each student a third wave membership card.
Oh, Lord.
And continues his lesson for the day as to how to properly recruit new members. He says that a new member can join as long as they are recommended by an existing member and can demonstrate and follow all the third wave rules.
Okay, so we're just starting a cult in school. Cool deal.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm telling you, it's crazy. That they can follow all the third wave rules and show obedience. He also instructs 3 students who receive special membership cards to report back to him when any other fellow members aren't following the rules. By the end of the day, the movement had grown over 200 card-carrying members, and his 3 enforcers had reported over 20 students to him.
So are they just acting like this in other classes? Or is this
they are.
Oh,
yes.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, so they're all under the impression that this nationwide movement has been happening, and they're now a part of it. And there's some sense of secrecy between the members, right? So that, like I said, this new hierarchy has been formed. And like I said, these students have been, in this well-regarded area and held to very high standards. And so the students who were normally praised for doing really well in class and, like I said, high achievements, they're no longer the top people out there. These middle students who really didn't have much of a place, who weren't bad students but weren't great students, now have this newfound power and this newfound, goal. And it's across all social categories.
Okay.
And so, like I said, he says, it was insane. Punishment for infractions, of course, was being banished to the school library during the duration of his
how many
class.
kids you got in this library already?
I never found an actual number as to how many was in there.
And how big is this library? Because I remember libraries at school, they weren't that big to banish a bunch of kids to.
Yeah. I do know his class started at 30 students.
Okay, then a normal amount.
Normal high school class. All of the students took their jobs very seriously and began cutting other classes to stay with Mr. Jones. All these new students are falling right in line, and they tell him how much they enjoy his history class and how much they are learning. By the end of the day on Wednesday.
This is third day.
This is the third day. It's been 3 days. The staff has now taken notice, and when he arrives to a teacher's meeting, the principal greets him with the third wave salute.
Oh, God.
Yep.
So the teachers are not aware of what he's doing?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. He also notices that one of his students named Robert has begun following him around.
Oh, God.
When he asks Robert why he's following him around, Robert explains that he is now his bodyguard and needs to protect him.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
Yeah, so Robert's this big kid who isn't a great student or an athlete. You know, he doesn't really fit into any social groups at school. But now that he's a part of the third wave, he's found community. He's found belonging and purpose.
Uh-huh.
He even follows Ron into one of the teachers' lounges at one point, and when another when another teacher asks him why he's in there, he openly explains his reasoning, just like super matter of fact, like, I'm his bodyguard and I need to stay with Mr. Jones. Like, pretty much like, why are you questioning me?
Like, what are you talking
What are you talking about? Why I'm here? Yeah. Like, he has power now, right?
Okay.
On the fourth day, okay, so it's Thursday now.
Uh-huh.
Ron realizes that this has gotten wildly out of control.
You think? I mean, why did it take 3 days? 4 days.
4 days.
For you to realize that this is getting out of control. Mm-hmm. I think when you got a bodyguard, that should have been your red flag right there. That, holy cow.
Here's your sign.
This is going way too far.
Way too far. I think he actually explained that it was only supposed to be a 1 day, like, kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But whenever he saw the reaction to the students on the first day, and like when he came in the second day to see every single student ready to go at attention, just like he told them to do, like he was like, I need to keep this going.
Okay.
Yeah. On the fourth day, Ron realizes that this has gotten wildly out of control when he sees how involved the students have become. Several students had actually independently, not at Mr. Jones's order, created a bodyguard division and actually physically attacked any student that spoke out against the movement and other members, like anybody that spoke badly about any other members of the movement as well. And they even attacked a student reporter for the school newspaper.
I mean, you done started a gang.
Yeah. He knows that he can't just put a stop to this, though, with a simple lecture. And he's become a little exhausted with it at this point. He's having to portray this really strict teacher, you know, and, of course, lying to all of his students has taken a toll on him. But he wants to drive home the reason why he even started this social experiment, is what they end up calling this, is a social experiment. He needs to see his lesson plan through. He's blown away because these kids, they've known each other for years. And just in a matter of a couple of days, they're now turning on each other. You know, they're fighting amongst themselves. And, you know, students that would have never been together in the first place are now like allies. Mm-hmm. And he's seeing this all happen in just a matter of days.
I'm surprised he didn't get fired.
He knows he has to bring it to a close, though.
Okay.
So on Thursday, Mr. Jones enters his classroom to find 80 of the members sitting at perfect attention, waiting for his class to begin.
How you got 80 desks or chairs in your class?
Yep. He starts his lesson talking about pride. He shifts his voice to a lower, less demanding tone, and he announces to this class, quote, this is what he says to the class, that the third wave is a nationwide program to find students who are willing to fight for political change in this country. Teachers all around the country have been recruiting and training a young brigade capable of showing the nation a better society through discipline, community, and action. If we can change the way school is run, we can change the way factories, stores, universities, and all other institutions are run. You are a young group of people selected to help in this cause. If you will stand up and display what you have learned in these last 4 days, 4 days, we can change the destiny of this nation and bring it to a new sense of order, discipline, community, action, and pride. A new purpose. Everything rests in your willingness to take a stand. Unquote. He then turns to two of the girls who have been in his class but have been kind of questioning everything. They've been participating, but they haven't been fully engaged, kind of going along with it, but not maybe really believing in it. Mm-hmm. And he explains that the people who aren't in this for the right reasons are not going to be successful candidates. That they can't just go along with it because they feel like they have to, or if they or just to get a good grade. And he makes both of them leave the room
and go to the library
in front of everyone, and they are banished to the library. He basically makes an example out of them.
Right.
After they leave, he tells the rest of the members that tomorrow, a presidential candidate of the third wave would be announcing its existence to the public. He ordered his students to attend a rally on Friday to witness the announcement at noon. Yeah. So, on Friday morning, he convinces some of his friends to pose as news reporters and photographers to make this look like it's really happening. And he has a television set up in the middle of the room for everyone to see. Uh-huh. His students arrive promptly at 10:50, ready to go. And Mr. Jones begins leading the students in the chant, quote, strength through discipline, strength through community, strength through action. He walks around the room and marvels at the diversity. There are jocks and chess club members sitting side by side. There are mathletes and misfits. Students that were considered social outcasts before are now laughing and talking to the most popular students in school. They are all there together as proud third wave members. He gives them the third wave salute, and the packed gym gives it back to him. He turns on the TV to a static channel, and all the students fall silent, waiting for the program to begin and to hear from their future leader.
Oh, Lord.
After 2 minutes of silence and nothing appearing on the screen, the tension in the room shifts, and you can start hearing murmuring coming from the students who are confused and worried. Ron turns the television off and walks to the middle of the room and says, quote, listen closely. There is no leader, and there is no national movement called the third wave. You have been used and manipulated. And where are you heading? How far would you have gone? Let me show you your future. And he then turns on footage from the Nuremberg rally coordinated by the Nazi Party in Germany from 1935.
Wow.
Let that sink in for just a minute.
I mean, I get it. Like, that's a very good teaching strategy. But it's really crazy what they did in 4 days.
All these students watched the footage of these Nazis chanting and saluting and shouting in unison, hundreds of them. Mm-hmm. And the words on the screen then read, quote, everyone must accept the blame. No one can say they didn't take part. Ron then tells the group, quote, this is where we were going. We are no better and no worse than the Germans we have been studying. This is our future unless we learn and understand the need for freedom. Ron then apologizes to the students for the experiment and lesson taking on a life of its own. He says, quote, this is the final lesson to be experienced and is perhaps the greatest importance. How can people be a part of something and then claim at its demise that they were not really involved? What causes people to blank out their own history? So the students are just sitting there. You can only imagine.
Right.
They're 15, 16, 17-year-old kids who were just totally into something and ready to go 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
They just learned that they got played. They fell for it. Several students end up crying and running out of the room. Some are extremely angry, shocked, or confused. Robert, the bodyguard, is sobbing. because, he suddenly lost all this power and purpose. For some students, their inevitable compliance from the last 4 days is just starting to sink in. And some are trying to save their dignity by saying that they always knew it was a joke or a lesson. One student, Philip Neal, years later said, quote, "Wow, that was an amazing experience, and boy did I learn a lesson. Mr. Jones pulled it off so well because we could identify so easily with him. He was young and spoke our language. We felt comfortable with him. It was a given that what he was doing was ethically wrong, but the lesson he taught us far outweighed that," unquote. Another student named Mark Hancock said, quote, "He was very charismatic and his classes were really fun. They were so good that if a particular speaker was coming to campus, other kids in other classes would sneak out and watch our class. A lot of students wished they had him as their teacher, and we knew that we were lucky," unquote. Philip Neal and Mark Hancock actually filmed a documentary called The Lesson Plan, featuring interviews with the original students and Ron himself in 2010. In 1981, a TV special titled The Wave aired in the United States, and in 2019, The Invisible Line debuted, which also featured interviews from former students and Ron. They also hosted a 40-year anniversary reunion that some students wanted absolutely no part of.
I bet not.
Yeah. In 2017, Ron Jones says, quote, "People often say it wouldn't work today because there would be parental involvement. But take a look at our own national election. Many of the questions these students faced 50 years ago are the same ones we are facing now. How do we change things? How do we work within the system or risk arrest? Do we accept civil disobedience? Sometimes as a teacher, you miss the middle group, those who just want to be successful at something for once in life." What was interesting during the wave was that the very bright kids were excluded and marshaled out of the classroom by guards early on. That left the middle group, who then felt empowered. That's probably what's happening today in the United States. People who felt left out suddenly are in control, and it feels good. Can it happen again? I say it's happening. Unquote. And that is the story of Ron Jones and his 1967 social experiment, The Third Wave.
I think it was a fantastic experiment. It does make you think about the things that are going on in the world today. I mean, we're not going to get political or anything, but
no, we will not.
It's crazy to see what people will let slide, or what they're gonna put up with.
Or how easy it is for people to fall in line with something that might not be ethical or...
Right, that you're totally against, but just because you're influenced by someone else, you go along with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot to think about, and it was something that really intrigued me. I actually heard it from a podcast, My Favorite Murder. They did it, I think last year at some point. And I had never heard of it before, and I figured that a lot of people might not have known.
I hadn't heard of it.
And so I just thought that it was a really interesting thing to cover, and, just kind of makes you think.
Yeah.
And, like I said, it's especially like you said with everything that's going on in the world right now, whether, we agree or disagree with it, just to see how easy it was, even though it was a short period of time, small area, 200 people,
Yeah, but 200 can become 1,000.
Exactly. And I think that that's, kind of the moral ultimately of the story in itself.
Okay, so to end a funny, because, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas!
It's our last episode of the year. Here's a Christmas drinking game. If you still have some presents to wrap.
I do.
Okay, I'll come over and we'll play this game together.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Okay, because I still have some more being delivered. So you lay out all your wrapping paper, your scissors, your tape, your tags, your bows, etc. Whatever you do.
All the stuff. All the wrapping
with
stuff.
your wrapping. Pour yourself a drink.
Okay.
Start wrapping your presents.
Okay.
Well, each time you lose the scissors or the tape, or your pet gets in the way, take a drink. How many presents do you think we'll wrap?
You would be staying over at that point because
Probably.
it'd be too drunk to leave.
Probably. We'd probably drink that whole box I just bought.
That's hilarious. Okay. I have some Christmas trivia questions for you.
I'm down.
Okay. Question 1. Which popular Christmas beverage is also called milk punch?
Eggnog.
Yes!
You want to know why? Because I hate that crap.
I love eggnog.
Oh, no. Doesn't it taste like milk?
Not really. It's a little thicker than that, but I mean, obviously I drink mine spiked. And I get the Southern Comfort spice, like vanilla spiced eggnog, and it's a little better than just like plain eggnog. It's
Jordan
really good.
loves eggnog.
He likes it?
Yeah.
My mom really likes it. She's the one that got me onto it.
I haven't ever really tried it because it looks like milk.
Yeah. How many ghosts show up in A Christmas Carol?
I have no idea, so I'm going to guess 7.
No, 4.
Oh.
The ghost of his former business partner, Jacob Marley, and Christmas past, present, and yet to come. Those are the 4 ghosts in the Christmas Carol.
Okie dokie.
Yes. What are 2 other most popular names for Santa Claus? Most popular.
Saint Nick.
That's one of them, yeah.
Jolly good fellow.
Kris Kringle.
Oh, yeah.
So the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite Christmas movie of all time. Like the day that we put the Christmas tree up after Thanksgiving is we watch that movie.
Oh.
Every year.
Jacob goes around going, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. And he does like the deep voice and everything. It's so hilarious.
Do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
I love The Grinch, but...
That's Dakota's favorite.
Like, not the cartoon one.
No, like the Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
She likes all of them.
I remember, though, as a child watching, do you know, like, the little, it's a very older movie with Rudolph and the snowman, and it's like a little fuzzy-looking Rudolph.
Yes!
And it looks like somebody's literally, like, taking them.
Those are so cute.
Yes.
Yes.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah. Those are, I bet you get very nostalgic. When
yeah.
Elvis isn't going to have a white Christmas. He's going to have a...
Blue Christmas.
Yes! Good
I don't know why that took me a minute.
In Home Alone, where are the McAllisters going on vacation when they leave Kevin behind?
Well, technically, are we talking about the first one, the second one, the third one? New York.
No.
Oh.
They live in New York.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They're going to Paris.
Okay.
In the classic Christmas movie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Grinch was described with 3 words. What are they?
Sad, lonely, the Scrooge.
Stink, stank, stunk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What is Ralphie's little brother's name in the movie A Christmas Story?
Here's she try out, kid. Oh, dang it. Ralphie. Dang it. Yeah. Give me a hint.
Starts with an R. You have Ralphie and...
Ronald sounds like an old man. Oh my god. I don't know.
Randy.
Ah, dang it.
Which one of Santa's reindeer has the same name as another holiday mascot? Think other holidays.
Cupid.
Yes! Good job!
I don't know why that took me so long.
I'm terrible at trivia, seriously. In the song Winter Wonderland, what do we call the snowman?
I'm sorry, say that again.
In the song Winter Wonderland, what do we call the snowman?
I don't understand the question. I mean, I understand the question, but I don't know the answer.
Parson Brown.
Oh, okay.
What's the name of the main villain in The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Jack?
Villain.
Oh.
Bad guy.
I don't know.
Oogie Boogie.
Oh.
He's the boogeyman.
Oh.
Oogie Boogie.
I can't tell you the last time I seen that.
I am raising a true crime junkie, a future freaky family member, let me tell you.
Oh, your child.
My child.
Yeah.
I am raising one. So she had Spirit Week at school.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Every day of the week this week, she had to do something fun, for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And, like one of them was Pajama Day, and then one of them was Ugly Sweater Day. I got her this adorable ugly sweater that's a piece of pizza with lights on it, and it's hilarious.
Cute.
Yeah. One of them, though, was dress up as a Christmas movie character, right? Mm-hmm. And I assumed automatically that she was going to be the Grinch. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, that's her favorite Christmas movie, right?
Right.
No. My child says, I want to be Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. So I sent my child to school in a Sally dress from Nightmare Before Christmas with stitches all over her face.
Why did I not get a picture?
I forgot to take one because I'm a terrible mother.
Darn.
Yes. Visions of which food danced in children's heads as they slept in their beds in the poem 'Twas the Night Before Christmas?
Sugar plums.
Yes! What was the first company that used Santa Claus in advertising?
Oh, hold on. Let me think about this. Hallmark.
No.
Darn it.
Coca-Cola.
Ah, dang it.
Have you seen their newest one with Lindsay Lohan?
Yes, and the
her
milk.
Okay, do you know that is not, that she did not come up with that?
Well,
do you know where that came from?
It reminds me of a float, but I think it's disgusting. I am not drinking it. I don't like milk like that, though.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't tried it. I will, though.
Okay, let me know what you think.
And I'll let you know what you think.
I'm not drinking it. I'm not a Pepsi. I'm not a Pepsi person, though.
Do you know where it came from?
The polar bear. That's the Coca-Cola.
So, it was actually Laverne and Shirley.
Oh.
Do you remember that old movie?
Yes.
That old TV show? It used to come on Nick at Night?
Yeah.
In TV Land? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she used to put milk in her soda.
No, gross.
Yeah, and it was like a thing that she did.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw somebody on TikTok try it, and they said it wasn't bad.
I don't care.
I'll try it, and I will report back.
Okay, well, when you throw up later.
I will let you know.
No.
That concludes our Christmas trivia.
Whoop whoop.
Well, thank you guys again so much for an amazing year. We really appreciate each and every single one of you, and we hope that however you guys celebrate your holiday season, that it's amazing, full of love and full of family and warm, fuzzy thoughts. I hope you have hot chocolate or eggnog or mulled wine, whatever you like and enjoy, and just soak it all in. We will see you guys next year.
Whoop, whoop. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. You can join our freaky little family both on Instagram and Facebook and find all of the featured photos from this episode
at Sips of Crime.
For a chance to have your story featured on one of our future episodes, send us a Gmail
to sipsofcrime@gmail.com.
And you can find all of our episodes wherever you get your podcasts. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, we would really appreciate you giving us a 5-star review because it really helps other people find our podcasts and our episodes. Thanks for listening. Stay alive.